Change is a process, not a single event. And to understand the change process, we must know what that process looks like. There are 5 stages of change: pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, and maintenance. When it comes to change, unfortunately, a lot of people hang out on the outskirts of the change highway in compliance mode. Simply put, they treat change as a chore, never developing a personal plan for better. Compliance is a form of change, but it's change in its infancy stage. It's someone else's idea or expectation for you. This type of performance will endure as long as there is an incentive or undesired outcome. And although it's a form of change, it's based on compliance and not a personal commitment for growth. Change that has matured, on the other hand, is internal and is rewarding for the individual who pursues it, without any other incentive. It's not just being an adult chronologically, but also being one mentally. And mature individuals make grown-up plans. Mental prisons form when we refuse to act our age. Life expects more as we grow, but if you treat life as a series of chores, you will stop pursuing better and start to settle for less than you deserve. We become humans doing instead of humans being. This mentality is worse than a physical prison sentence because its walls are invisible and your ego is the warden. It's a way of thinking that leads to a life sentence of complacency and underachievement. The sad part is your conviction is the result of a complacent attitude, and it's no one's fault but your own. So now you're listening. Good. Because your first step to mental freedom is stopping. But simply stopping, unfortunately, won't be enough. When you want lasting change, you acknowledge that. Stopping a bad behavior does not automatically mean you are starting a new one, and simply abstaining from something won't attract something new. Just because something is different, that does not automatically make it better. Change, on the other hand, broadens your perspectives. Choices become plentiful, and you seek new ways of doing things. During the change process, you become willing to let go of the thinking and behaviors that choke out the possibility of better results. Common barriers to change include 1. Poor self-talk and internal dialogue. 2. Negative peer environments. And 3. Having undefined goals. Now, let's get into the steps to pursue real change. Stage 1. Pre-contemplation. In short, during pre-contemplation, changing the behavior isn't even on your mind. Sometimes we are in this phase because we just don't know any better. Other times, it's because things happened before we were capable of coping, and we don't see ourselves as having what it takes or the resources to deal with the issue. Pre-contemplation can also be a result of being misinformed. Maybe you were given the wrong information, and now that information has been normalized, making it hard to see the need for change. Stage 2. Contemplation. In contemplation, the individual is basically thinking, "I'm considering it," but that's about all. If you find yourself often saying, "This is the way we always did it," or frequently relying on your feelings to dictate your perspective or opinion on a matter, well, it's a strong possibility that you may have ended up on the pre-contemplation expressway. It's a result of taking a trip to nowhere with rest stops at talk about it, and talk about it some more. There's always traffic and congestion because the cars on this highway are outdated, just like your old way of thinking, and the weather is unpredictable, like your feelings. Hanging on to a "well, I think I feel" attitude is a sure way to get stuck in a negative thinking cycle, and then convince yourself that this is the best route for your life. If a person becomes sick and tired of the cycles, or exhausted with wasting time and energy, he or she will either become bitter, a grumpy, pessimistic, stubborn know-it-all, or decide to be better, an individual willing to look beyond his or her way of thinking and try something new. That leads us to stage 3, preparation. You've been talking about what's wrong for a while. Now what? Describe where you want to go and accept that it won't happen overnight. Think of your life as a large roadmap, with the destination being the last day of your trip. That's your overall life goal. But once you're there, the trip is over. Now think of all the smaller things you want to accomplish. Those are the things you want to do and places you will visit on this journey. They may include health, wealth, education, social, or family goals. Remember these key factors when setting goals. First, start small. Break your goals down into small parts or behaviors that support what you want. Start small and work your way up. A 10 to 15-minute self-improvement daily routine can have remarkable impacts long-term when changing your mindset. Or you may commit to exercising 3 times weekly or improving self-talk by removing words like always, never, and should from your vocabulary. Second, monitor and adjust. Monitoring your improvement by tracking your slip-ups until you have reached your goal is crucial. Just remember, your goal should be defined enough that you can share it, and someone else would be able to observe the behavior and monitor your improvement. If only you can understand it, it may not be a well-defined goal. Third, get help. On that note, having positive accountability partners will assist in supporting your goal and celebrating your success. Share your plans with those who plan, and don't expect those who don't plan to understand. In other words, choose wisely when selecting an accountability partner. Not everyone has the capacity to support your goals. Explore things that are enjoyable, so change is rewarding and not a chore. Action phase. Change starts now and here. Stay focused on your smaller accomplishments and celebrate them just like you would if you were visiting a new city on a road trip. Stop. Take pictures. Create small memories. Learn new things. Navigate new terrain. Learn how to drive in the snow. Meaning life won't always present ideal conditions, but you can learn how to navigate better by learning from past mistakes. Remember, life is the journey, not the destination. So, remove the pressure of time loss. You can't fix what went wrong, but you can live right now. You can practice right living, and you can start now. Plan for a future that progresses with intention, not compliance. You don't want a destination to just somewhere, where life happens and you just respond. That's a choice to settle. Most people who do nothing are making a conscious decision to do nothing. Work your plan and adjust as needed. Maintenance phase. The key to successful living is not just getting up, but staying up. Moving forward takes having real motivation and goals that challenge plain old, routine ways of doing things. Maintenance requires keeping a change-based outlook and challenging yourself. You should always have something you're working on. Let's say that again. You should always have something you're working on. If not, you are either not moving or becoming careless with your maintenance. Becoming lazy with change can lead to mediocre and unfulfilled lifestyles. This is when change returns to being a chore again. Think about it like maintenance on a vehicle. When you value the car, you maintain it. You purchase new things when needed, and you take everyday measures to keep it up. Cars without regular maintenance encounter more problems and decrease in value. Similarly, your changes require maintenance, fixing things as they come up, and monitoring your everyday affairs. Now that you have the stages, work them with excitement. Find things that you enjoy doing. Do it because you want to, not because you have to, and life will start to smile back with fulfillment rather than the frown of regret and broken promises. You owe it to yourself to do the work. So, set your goals, start a journey of purpose, and enjoy the ride. Want to learn more about change and self-improvement? Subscribe to AHS Behavioral Health for more helpful life tips.